This is Ice Cream Gecko, and in today's video I am going to show you my food diary that I have been keeping for the past 7 years. I started this to lose weight and I still keep on going with it to maintain the goal weight that I eventually reached. And in today's video I'm going to go into detail on what I did and how I did it and how I will continue doing this, or at least how I plan on continuing to do this. Now, I want to start with a disclaimer though. I am not a medical professional, I am not a nutritionist. Take everything I say with a grain of salt. This is not proper informed advice that I've got here. This is just my opinion, an opinion of one guy on the internet who uses a diary to maintain his weight. Now, let us start with what I do now. This is the most recent notebook that I've got here, my current one, and this is today. Let's go back a page though to where we actually have filled up a couple of pages. So what I do nowadays to maintain my weight is I've got the date of any given day here on the top left. Then I start with the weight here that I've got in the beginning of said day. When I get out of bed, I step on the scale, and that's what I note down here. Here I have, let me zoom in on that maybe. Here I have my daily workout thingy that I can tick off, and then I have 8 lines where I can put stuff that I eat. Now, it is very important for this diary, for my method of doing this, to write down everything I eat. From a chocolate bar to a slice of bread or over a lollipop even. Everything I eat is going to find its way into here. And this is the core. I must not allow myself to cheat on myself with any food, because when I do that, this doesn't work. This really works on keeping the subconscious conscious of what I eat, and just limiting myself in terms of how much I eat throughout a certain time period. Now, you can of course count calories if you want that, but I am way too lazy to do that. I know that I will not keep up with it, so I thought that I was just going to write down the items that I eat and hope for the best. And for me it turned out that about 8 entries every single day is enough and not too much for me to keep the weight that I desire. Here I am at 77, 77.8, 78.1, 77.3. Here I am 77.3. We can take a look at the start of this particular notebook. Here I am at 77.9. Somewhere in the middle here I'm at 76.2. The pens do change. I use this notebook also to this diary to use up pens that I have that I wanted to get rid of, that I wouldn't write with otherwise. That's also a great thing about one of these food diaries. You can use up old pens, old crappy pens as well. And well, what I want to say is I write down everything I eat, and for me that appears to be a fine thing to do. I didn't really start like this. I started the food diary with scrap paper, and I wouldn't limit myself to 8 entries in a single day. I would just write down everything I eat and hope for the best. That didn't really work out too well over longer periods of time, but what it did do was to make myself aware of what I actually do eat. Now I would put down like 3 slices of bread, 2 portion sizes of this and that. Here nowadays I limit myself to a double slice, Doppelscheibe Brot, double slice of bread. Usually a double of something is the maximum that I'm going for. When I, for example, eat a handful of peanuts, then I don't tell myself, oh, this is not too unhealthy, I'm not going to write it down. I'm going to write it down, and I'm going to write into the notebook here a handful of peanuts. I think here I have a handful of Ferrero Küsschen. Well, that was for a review, I think. Here I have a handful of peanut flips, these little peanut snack thingies that I really do like. Yeah, I just write down everything I eat, and this seems to do the job just fine. Now, I think I've gone through everything I've got to say in regards to what I do nowadays. The lovely thing about having 8 entries is that this fits quite well into a regular A6 size notebook. This is a Moleskine, the like pocket size. A6 would be the I guess, proper term for that form factor, or at least a more decent one. You could go for 9 here, then you'd have enough space here. Depending on the notebook, depending on how tall the lines are, this can of course vary, but 8 is a very decent number of lines for this sort of thing, and it works out quite well for me. I'm repeating myself here, but I don't know. I just like to talk about this stuff because this has been working for me. And when I keep in mind that I started my weight loss journey at 100 kilograms, I'm 6 feet, 184, 185 centimeters in height, and 100 kilograms for that as not somebody who's muscle packed, it's just too much. And I just hungered myself down initially to a certain weight, but it was difficult to keep that weight, right? And when you are constantly thinking about, oh, I cannot eat this, I cannot eat that, that's not a way to live either. I mean, for some people, for many people, writing down everything you eat is not a way to live either. But it's fine for me. It turned out to be fine for me. It's not that big of a deal when you are getting used to it after some period of time. Where am I at? Why did I start? So I've got a little reminding paper here, but I screwed that one up already, I think. Now, why did I start? I did say that to lose weight. I'm still doing this after over 7 years at this point because I want to keep my weight. Now, why shall we not take a look at the first notebook that I have here? I wanted to show you a picture of the scrap paper that I used previously before I used notebooks, but I couldn't find any. Of course, I haven't got the actual original paper anymore, but I couldn't even find any pictures of it, which is something that was surprising to me because usually I take pictures of all sorts of stuff. Unfortunately, not from that one. Now here we have the first entry. Here I started with like a daily workout that I wanted to do, and this is like the weight of the dumbbells that I was lifting. Here I have left and right arm, not 555 times I lifted anything, no, I haven't lifted anything 550 times in my life probably, but it was 5, 5 and 5, so 15 times, and then 9 push-ups. That was my daily workout, but then that changed quite a lot. Here I wasn't doing too much at all, but here you can see what I was talking about previously. I would have like a number in front of the entry itself, 3 times roulette biscuit, some sort of biscuit, 3 slices of grey bread with tomato, Schmelzkäse, some sort of like creamy fatty cheese, crostini 1 time. This is like a certain Mediterranean style bread roll from Aldi. More rondelles, caramel, sweet stuff, a bit of Raffaello apparently, and a quarter of a pot of Weißkrautsalat. A kraut. I am a kraut. I am German after all, of course. And a banana, because I'm exotic too. And then I closed off the day with a line to just say, well, I've eaten enough for today. Here I started to get closer to what I'm doing nowadays. Splitting up the pages into 2 days. Then I was more adventurous at some point too. Then I tried to squeeze more into 1 page, and I tried to limit myself even further when it comes to the stuff that I eat. You can see here 83.3 kilograms. I was a bit heavier back then. I wouldn't say I had more muscle mass than I have now. But that wasn't a great thing either, because when you're constantly just limiting yourself to too small amount of stuff, then you are not really having fun either. And at some point, I guess it's not here, but at some point I decided that 8 entries per day, this is a nice page, this looks nice and old-fashioned, doesn't it? But at some point I decided 8 entries per day is fine. Now, I'm babbling on for way too long at this point. I think you get the idea, you get what I wanted to say, but I want to show more of my notebooks here. This is why I'm keeping them, right? You can see here the insane great quality of moleskin. This is like not even 20 years old. Like when you've got notebooks, when they get really old, they sort of fall apart. But this stuff right here falls apart quite quickly. This fell apart when I was using it. This is the like soft cover moleskin. I like the color of this, but quality of moleskin is just not there. But I do like this yellowy paper. You can see here my fingers are full with moleskin stuff. And here with the black felt tip pen, that was a nice thing. It was some sort of fine line I was using then. I was using up quite a few pens. This looks really, really nice, doesn't it? When it comes to the line thickness and the color of the paper in conjunction with that deep black. Lovely. 2 slices of pizza, 2 slices of pizza, more pizza. What's that? Oh, Salzstange, I think. A salty stick, like these salt sticks. I'll put a link to one in the video description. To a package of some, I should say. Yeah, lots of stuff here. Maybe this is now turning into an ASMR video. Shall I put this like... Yeah, that's the ASMR vibe, isn't it? And here you have ASMR trash on the table now. Now let's go for another one. This is a Leuchtturm 1917, Lighthouse 1917 in English. Let's open up this one. I wanted to get one of these again, but they always have the date here on the top left, and I have to overwrite that. And I don't want to spend the premium amount of money on something that I then have to overwrite, right? Here I have this my daily allowance for food divided into, well, 2 days into 1 page. Did that sentence make any sense? Probably not, but you probably understand what I wanted to say. And here I have the... Yeah, this looks very similar to what I'm doing today, and this was in 2019. Something I do like about writing with ballpoint pens is that you've got this sort of relief. When you've got thin paper like this stuff here, you can feel what you have been writing previously on the other page usually, but I like that sort of stuff. Can you hear that? Probably not. I think most of you have already tuned off, tuned out, tuned away to another video, but I applaud you, one of the few people who is still there. Shall we take a look at another one? This was a 2-pack, I think, of Amazon notebooks, like no-name notebooks. Those were quite alright actually, paper-wise. Thicker paper. Doesn't even show the ink as much as it does on some of these previous premium notebooks. And here I have more stuff here. Oh, here I used a pencil. Piece of baguette plus salami. Then we have a portion size of potato wedges with sour cream. Portion size of pasta with sauce. More pasta with sauce, and a pre-baked bread roll with marmalade. And this is also something I used to do. I used to put this little mark down here to indicate that I've eaten the stuff that's in the line above it, and I've eaten that again, and so that I don't have to write it down again and just put in this little mark. This makes life a bit easier when you want to get used to getting in the habit of actually doing this food diary stuff. Yeah. Here's a slice of bread with a sausage. 2 slices of, no, 1 slice of bread with sausage, and then I have a bread roll with sausage. And a slice of bread with Bresson cream cheese. Something I also like to do is do like little abbreviations for certain things. Like SCH dot is Scheibe, so a slice. And then I've got abbreviations for all sorts of things. I don't know why, but I do enjoy flicking through the pages here. It's interesting. I always wanted to keep a notebook, but I never really could keep up with actually keeping notes, like in an actual analog way. And I also tried to do this food diary digitally, but I don't really like having to turn on the computer or get on the phone to constantly write down something. I like to write in an analog way, but then again, for uni stuff you have to work enough with the computer anyway, so I didn't really see a point why I should do my food diary in that as well. I mean, I do like Excel, and I do like making graphs and stuff, but having things analog is nice, is really nice. Here I was a lot lighter still than I am now, but that, I mean, close to 70 kilos is almost too little for my height. Yeah. Here I wasn't doing my daily workout too well, was I? An X was for 10. Here I've got a smiley face. Don't know what that is. I mean, I do know, but I'm not going to say it. Don't ask me why. It's lovely. And here I was using a different pen once again. What's that? That might just be... It's not a fountain pen, it's some sort of fine liner. Don't know which one though. 2020. Well, that was a year, wasn't it? And here we are, done with that. Let's go through the next one. If you've made it this far into the video, let me know in the comment section. I would be surprised if anyone really does. YOLO swag, nice. Can't believe that I'm the person who does that. Because I'm the only one writing into this. There's no one else. That's something good too about this stuff. You can keep this private quite well actually. What I usually do when I'm at uni, having like lunch with other people, I just, you know, when I'm finished eating, take out my phone real quick. I've got a Google Keep thingy where I note down what I ate, and then when I'm home, I'm putting this into the actual notebook. Yeah, it works quite well. It sounds nice flicking through these pages. Not that there is much of worth in this like method, this particular note taking. Like it's done its job. It has done its job like right after I've noted down the thing, you know, at the end of the day. But having a record of what I ate like years ago, it's so unnecessary, but for some reason it's nice. But I don't know what I've got left to say at this point. I wanted to say something that is more than just hot air, but I've got nothing left but hot air at this point. Will I keep doing this? Is something that I wrote on my little thingy, my piece of paper. It's not. I wanted to say post-it, but it's not a post-it. It doesn't stick to nothing. But will I keep doing this? Yes, I think I will keep doing this. I don't know if I ever will stop doing this. I mean, for some time, at some point I thought, well, do I have to do this? Shall I try out not doing this for a certain amount of time and see how it goes? And I've got to say that this is so little time in my day that this is just taken up. I think it's a small amount of time that is very well invested. Because I can keep track of my weight. I don't have to count calories. I can like keep a somewhat decent figure. At least I'm not like big, without too much effort. And I can still eat what I want. The only thing that I have to limit myself is in terms of how many things I eat in a day. And for some reason, just like limiting myself to like 8 things maximum per day seems to do the job, no matter what I eat. Maybe it's like in the subconscious, it tells you, well, you cannot eat this when you've eaten that and this and that. And when you put down like little like sweets and stuff as well, you fill up this list so quickly that you can't really eat that many calories anyway. A DIY pizza and a Magnum pistachio. Well. Here I've got instant potato puree. It's my favorite potato puree. I'm weird. How does this sound? Oh, that's fine too. Oh, I think I know what this here is. I think this was the Papermate Quattro, this like multi ballpoint pen, and that was not a great ballpoint pen. The ink was sort of leaky sometimes. Then there was always a weird sort of like dry-ish ink at the very tip of it on the inside of this like pen cone in the very front, and I would have to clean it off. And I was using up the individual multi-pen refills here. And at this point in time, I don't have any. Now, when I look to my stationery section, I don't have any ballpoint pens that I still need to use up. I mean, I've got this one here, the Lamy Safari ballpoint pen, which has got the M16 refill in it, which is not a great refill at all. I'm using that one up, but that's really all that there is in terms of using up things. No like actual old stuff that I still need to use up. Turkey and egg sandwich from Aldi. This is my favorite sandwich from Aldi. And a handful of Haribo juicy gold bears. It's interesting. Or isn't it? It probably isn't. But green ink does look quite alright too. For some time, I mean at some point I was also using a fountain pen, but fountain pens, they smear quite a bit. Why am I not eating it? Oh, this is interesting. Or is it? I don't know what. Maybe, I think this was when I had my wisdom teeth removed. My 3 wisdom teeth. I only had 3. And here I was writing down when I took the ibuprofen. Half of an ibuprofen 600 milligrams at 15, 15 and 1950. And here I wasn't really eating too much because I could only eat like potato puree and stuff. Here I have some apple puree. And here I was eating normally again. I got lucky. No infection. Everything worked out well. It was quite nasty lying on this like chair, and the guy, he had to like use a saw thingy because one of the teeth was, it has, you know, it's got these little legs like the teeth, right? And one was in a weird sort of way, and he had to sort of cut down into the actual like bone. Oh, that was not great. Not very great at all. And the needle for the anesthesia, local like anesthesia, that went into the top of my gum. That was painful, and there was like a cracking sound as well, as if he just like pierced into my skull. I mean, he did kind of, but you know, not like really. That was awful. Okay, this is turning into a weird, very weird ASMR video now. My 7-year food diary. But I mean, what am I going to do in the 7-year food diary video? If I'm not showing what I've been writing down for the past 7 years, I might as well not do it at all. Here we've got the last one, well, the second to last one, but the last one I've shown you already. We're starting at the 23rd of May, 2022. Currywurst. Guess who's German? Some veggie sausage with a bit of French fries. Wrap and cheese and prosciutto cotto, cooked ham. Oh, a piece of Flint Easter bunny, chocolate bunny. Okay. Some Danish cookies. This is from this Moleskine notebook. This is so awful. It's crazy that they can make so much money with quality that is so bad. Like, no other notebook of mine has these issues that they have. No matter how cheap it is. You've got some Yoda ice cream. Do you remember that? Let me know in the comment section if you remember the Yoda ice cream that they review of. Really, if you've seen it, like, let me know. Master Yoda ice cream. Amazing. Banana, still exotic, am I? 77.1, 77.4. I mean, for the past couple of years, I've been pretty consistent with my weight. And this is like the great thing about this stuff. I don't have to watch my weight too much. And sometimes I even feel like I've eaten way too much on a certain day. And then I just look into like the notebook and I see what I've eaten in the day, and I haven't really eaten too much. It's just my mind playing tricks on me. And I think if I wasn't going to do this, if I just stopped doing this, I would end up just feeling bad, thinking that I ate too much, while having eaten too little. It would just be bad. Maybe I'm bound to having to do something like this to stay at a normal weight. Maybe that's the case. I don't know. I mean, it's fine. This weight is fine at my height. Yeah. A Maxi King. More DIY pizza. I do like DIY pizza. I'm still doing my DIY pizza. I'm trying out the pizza stone at the moment, and I want to try out different flours. Maybe I'm going to do another video about my DIY pizza sometime soon. For the longest time I haven't been using the pizza stone at all because, well, for several reasons, but now I've found a method to properly transfer it onto the pizza stone without the pizza just completely being messed up. Yeah. Again, like when you write with ballpoint pens, this sort of relief structure, and it feels really nice. Maybe I'm just weird though. Maybe I'm just weird. I am weird, but maybe this is too much. Here I used up that one fine liner. It had a sort of basketball texture. It was a Stabilo fine liner that was supposed to look like a basketball. It sounds weird, but it was sort of a fun concept, but at some point it broke. I don't know whether or not I've thrown it around in my room again. So I tend to do that sometimes. I've got issues. But it broke, and I couldn't fix it. I previously broke it and sort of mended it with a bit of super glue, but at some point it was just giving up the ghost again. But the contrast is really nice with this slightly yellowy paper and a thick, like, fine liner line. I really do like the aesthetic of that. Yeah. And here I think here is where did I fix it here? Or did I try to fix it? I don't know, but here it starts to go different. It starts to go different? Well, it becomes a different line. Yeah. And there we are already with the latest one. And at some point it stops. Where does it stop? Is this? Don't even know if that's the same one or not. I don't remember. But here I started with the Lamy Safari ballpoint pen, and it's got trouble starting a proper line for any letter, really. Not great of a refill at all. This was with the, I think, Parker Jota, decent blue, or the Big Crystal, I don't know. Possibly the Big Crystal. The Big Crystal colour is really nice, I think. It's very smooth. It's just the body that's not the most ergonomic. And yeah, here we are, the 27th of March 2024. I think that shall be it for this video. Now, I'm going to keep doing this, and maybe I'm going to do a 10-year food diary video at some point in the future. But for now, 7 years I've been doing this, over 7 years, and yeah, it's working well. and I can only recommend doing this. And if you've done something like this before, let me know in the comment section. My camera just stopped the recording just in time for the outro. It's a DSLR, so it does have this limit on how long a recording can be. It's not a camcorder. I think there was some sort of legal thing in that regard. But yeah, all I wanted to say is if you've got a question or a video suggestion, leave it in the comment section down below. And if you want to see more videos just like this one, feel free to subscribe. Thank you very much for watching, and I hope I'm going to see you soon. Until then.